Nada boys, what's going on? This is Yorkie here, and welcome back to another episode. And episode number 2, most importantly, of this Atletico Madrid career mode. You guys absolutely smashed the support, as per usual, on episode number 1, and your comments were unreal. We are now scouting a ton of those players that you guys have commented on, so hopefully, towards the end of this episode, we will be able to do a lot of business. Deadline day should be a busy one here. I think at Atletico, there's going to be at least 2 or 3, I think, that we bring through the door. I don't want to completely change the team's identity here at the start of season 1, but we do want to make a few changes, and one of those changes we've made already, thanks to a ton of suggestions from you guys, was the formation. And this is what we're going to be rocking. I think this is what we're going to go with for the start of this season. It leaves us less exposed, which is something that was pointed out quite heavily, and instead of me forcing players to be retrained to play out wide, even though they can play out wide, this should maybe get the best out of the team. I've never played narrow on the channel before, but I'm intrigued to see what it's like to play pretty narrow. Now, Depay comes in up top next to Morata, and Griezmann is going to be changed as a cam. This was one of the biggest suggestions and heavily liked suggestions down in the comment section, and I don't know why I didn't think of it. This is a brilliant idea. I think to get the most out of Griezmann, considering his pace for me right now is just not there as a striker, all around the rest of his ability is unbelievable. So I think him slotting in at cam and linking up between Depay, Morata and the 2 central midfielders will work perfectly. Also, Llorente can play right back, so I mean, I don't know why I never thought about this before. I still think down the line we're going to need another right back. We've got Molina and Doherty. I call him Doherty. Don't know why. I don't know if he's been called Doherty before to me, and then I've just picked that up, because you are 100% right when you look at his name. It's not Doherty, is it? So we'll try and remember to say Doherty, but in those intense moments, I'll probably still say Doherty. Now, in terms of major sales, I'm not sure I want to make any of them in this window, but I am fairly tempted, if we can't get the performances out of him, to let Angel Correa leave. But I think we need to give him a fair chance yet. Before we start ripping up this squad, we have to give players opportunities. But again, there's 45 players in this squad. It's ridiculously big. It's a problem. We're going to need to get rid of some players at some point. Biggest issue with this is the sheer ton of players we've got out on loan. One thing I did contemplate in terms of players leaving is actually Saul. I'm going to add him to the transfer list. No one really said anything in the comments about whether we should keep him or he should leave. I'm just not a fan of him. I think his time at Chelsea definitely tainted my opinion on him, but I'm ready to let him leave. We've stacked at midfield already, and I'd rather give those players the opportunities. As mentioned with Correa, I'm open. I'm open to these kind of discussions. Maybe not for Man United and us receiving Luke Shaw. I'm not saying Luke Shaw is a bad transfer for us to receive. I'm just saying we're pretty strong already at left back. We need to improve other positions, so bringing in Luke Shaw for less money for Correa doesn't make too much sense. Also, this just wouldn't be a realistic move here for season number 1. But before we get into any of the transfers, I want to test out this formation. I want to see how we get on, and we're going to take on Valladolid. This is simply a game that Atletico Madrid should be winning, and I think, to be honest with you, they'd probably rotate, but I'm going to go full strength in my mind for this one. Now, Carrasco can play at left back, so he's still within a shout in this team without a doubt. I reckon he could probably also play the left-sided of that midfielder, so I might try and retrain him. We'll try and figure that one out. Now, we haven't put our stamp on this team whatsoever yet, and I'm intrigued to see how this goes. Why have we got player numbers above heads? I mean, FIFA is bugging out. There's been a patch update, but FIFA has been awful. Not the gameplay or anything, just graphically. Yeah, it's just changed the indicator to player number. I don't know why. We're going back to player name. It makes it so much easier for commentary. Also, guys, any suggestions on the camera you'd like to see? I personally prefer this. This is a good move. Go on then, Morata. Memphis Depay gets it to him. That was a very bad pass from Memphis Depay. Yeah, I'd love people's opinions on maybe camera. I'm happy to use this. I'm comfortable using this, but if you guys think that it being more zoomed in would be better for you guys in terms of viewing, that's what is most important to me. Well in, Savic. Also, I need to tweak the instructions a little bit if we're going to play this, because I've already noticed that attacking wise we're getting bodies forward, and I'm not sure we're getting bodies back, as is being expressed there. Leon there. That's a good tackle. We've got to stop the ball across. I thought he'd stopped it. Oh my God, it's another near post goal against Oblak. And we go 1-0 down against Valladolid. The ball that comes across here, I actually thought we blocked it. We didn't, but you can't get beat at your near post. Jan Oblak, we've talked about him. We've questioned whether we re-sign him or not, but at this stage, I don't know if I want him back. Yeah, we do now. The Paul into Griezmann. Griezmann. Good little touch. Finds Memphis Depay. Depay then back out wide to Llorente. Llorente, heavy touch from Llorente. That was poor. It spilled everywhere. Get back to it, Llorente. Oh, he just wasn't switched on. And then Morata. It was a good touch, actually, from Morata. He's done brilliantly there. Alvaro Morata. Bringing that one across. Oh, he's been put. Oh, he gets it in. Oh, my God, what an unbelievable solo goal from Alvaro Morata. Okay. Maybe this guy can do a job for us here. I don't know how he's getting on in real life, but that was brilliant. Once he gets going as well, he's pretty rapid. But look at this, just stabs it through the keeper's legs. Back in it. Let's go on now and win this. We've settled a little bit. I gave them one opportunity and they scored it, though. So we need to be a bit sharper on the defensive end. Memphis Depay now. Plays that one backwards. I think that was a clever move there. Rodrigo, the Paul, will pick this one up now. I have Antoine Griezmann making a run. Surely. Oh, what a finish from Griezmann. And that's our first goal with him. I think him playing at cam is suiting me down to the ground. Valladolid are not out of this one. Still causing me ish. Oh, my God, that was terrible. Oh, my God, that was terrible defending again. Luckily, it was a handball. Dobia, get that one out wide. London Lorente. Pulls it back inside. Oh, Memphis Depay now has been found. Griezmann. Can he slide it in for Morata? Naily. It was a tough pass to make. Now, I'm nervous here because that's exactly what I knew they was going to try and do. Great save. There's one thing I'm noticing, and I think Kondogbia is just not really doing the instructions correctly. That's because he's on balanced attack. I want him to stay back while we're attacking, and I want him to... We're not going to do deep line playmaker with Kondogbia. We're going to tell him to drop between defenders because it's not working for him right now. Also making a couple of subs. We're going to bring on Correa. We're going to bring on Reguilon as well. Rente there. Finds the Paul. Morata's been found. Morata plays another ball into Griezmann. Oh, he just couldn't. It's going to go in. Doesn't matter. It goes off the goalkeeper onto Griezmann's chest. That's a brace today. And we have a cheeky little dance from Antoine Griezmann as well. Full of the celebrations. This is a good result. I mean, we should be beating Valladolid, but at least we're seeing some success now with this formation. 3-1 is how it ends, and we're happy with this victory. Finally, 3 points on the board. Not surprising after that great performance. We've got a transfer offer for Griezmann. 51.9 million from Man United. We're going to play hardball. There's no way we're letting him go for that. If we got the release clause, then we could just be happy to settle for that. We've got a great bid, though, from Napoli for Saul, so we will take this one. We're going to make our first signing as well. We're going to go in for Gonzalo Ramos from Benfica. Talked about him in the last episode, and I'm just a huge fan of him. I would not be surprised if this isn't the only time we see him on the channel this year. And he's going to be, I guess, maybe our next João Felix. I'm just going to go in at valuation. Hope that they say yes. Now, oh, okay, so they want Angel Correa. Don't feel like this is an even swap, though. A lot of teams really seeming to want Angel Correa, though. Feel like they would have to give me money as well. I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to go in at 32.2 million. They want 33.9 and a sell-on clause. I definitely don't want that sell-on clause, although I don't plan on selling him, but we'll pay 33.9. They want 37.8. The tension is so high on this one right now. I'm just going to go with this. I'm going to accept it. We don't want to lose out on our man, and he's going to double in price. He'll take rotation. That is brilliant. So he's going to grow really well then, because it means he won't get upset while he's not playing every single game. Release clause is double what we paid for him, so we're going to accept that at 81 million. Now, to keep it realistic here in Spain, everyone should have a release clause, but the problem is with some of the younger players, the release clauses don't make sense. So when the release clause makes sense, we will accept it. When it doesn't, we will set our own release clause mentally and then sell the player for that. Well, he wants a pay increase. I'm going to offer him 30 grand. It's still not that much money, and 1 mil signing on. Quite a realistic contract for a player like Gonzalo Ramos, and he's going to snap that up, and we make our first signing of this Atletico Madrid career mode. That's what we're going to do for now, though, because we're still waiting for some of these scout reports to come back. Inter Milan now are trying to palm off Aymeric Mkhitaryan to us for Stefan Savic. That will be a no Inter. I'm going to say he's been a good servant at the club, because I actually don't know what his time at Atletico Madrid has been like, but Saul is leaving. We got the deal done. It's about 23.4 or 23.5 million. I think this is a great deal for us. Brings us in a little bit of extra cash, and I think we might actually go and sign another central midfielder at some point if we're going to play this narrow formation. We played Rayo Vallecano next, and we managed to beat them 3-2. It wasn't an easy result. Paul, Carrasco, and Correa, which we should highlight, getting the goals. ADT always scores against me, even in the simulation, and he did just that. But nonetheless, another 3 points, and that sees us sitting 4th in the table at the minute. We're Espanyol, top of La Liga. Next up in the transfer market, we wanted to bring in another centre-back, and this is the man we're going to bring in. I've been thinking about it. I actually looked at Ignacio a lot, and Nunes, because Nunes would be a great rotation centre-back, and at 25 will continue to grow. Ignacio as well. I really like him, but I'm just super intrigued by 18-year-old Antonio Silva. I feel like this is the kind of signing that Atletico Madrid would make from time to time. They do bring in some big names, but they also surround them with a bunch of young names, and that's what we're going to do here with Antonio Silva. Now, he wouldn't have been super expensive, but I do think for the element of realism, we're going to pay the release clause. 23.1 million million for a player of this caliber who's got that much potential, I think is fair. He'll take sporadic as well, which means he's not going to be upset, which will help him grow a lot more. He comes in as a really well-rated centre-back. I want a release clause higher than that. I say 49.4. This is the problem with the release clauses, right? The teams in Spain, to protect their assets, because it is law to have a release clause, they will have ridiculous release clauses. So when you see like Ansu Fati with a £1 billion release clause, that's the reason they're doing it. Now, although we wouldn't give him a ridiculous release clause, I don't think that this is an acceptable one for me. I think 50 million would be more where the release clause should be. So we're going to deny it, and from this point onwards, until we re-sign a new contract, Antonio Silva's release clause will be 50 million. Wow, he wants no wages. Okay. You can come to Atletico and be paid nothing. That right there is signing number 2 done. Now, I don't expect us to get a good grade yet, because we could have got him for way less, but we're trying to be realistic to a degree. And then for the rest of the transfer market, I don't know. We have some money left, but I'm kind of feeling like I need to use this team a little bit to then determine where we need to improve. I can't just go crazy and sign a ton of players, because the squad is already so big. I've added a ton of the players that you guys have suggested, of course, and they could be signed at any point throughout this series. So keep the suggestions coming, because once again, any point in this series, we might sign one of your suggestions. I might actually leave it at just the 2 transfers. I'm extremely happy with the signing of Gonzalo Ramos. He's going to be a beast. I think him linking up with hopefully his pal from Benfica, both of them being Portuguese as well, kind of adds that little storyline. And Antonio Silva as well, I'm super excited to see how he gets on. But again, this is a 45-man squad at the minute, just surely because of the amount of loan players we've got out and still the amount of players we have in this team. I think we wait until January now to make a judgment on the squad and who we just don't think is cutting it. Of course, there could still be some crazy transfer offers come in, like this one for DePaul from AC Milan. I'm really excited to use DePaul, and I think they need to get a little bit closer to that release clause before I let him go. The release clauses should add a really interesting element in this as well, because you never know what's going to happen. A player could just go out of nowhere. In the background as well, at the same time, a lot of the younger players I've been getting out on loan. We already have a ton of players out on loan, but I've been getting more of them out on loan. I'm pretty sure Barrios was someone that was mentioned to keep, but he's going out on loan, which should help improve him. Well, the transfer offers here, and an interesting one that I knew was coming. AC Milan coming in for Lamar. Heavily linked with him, so I knew this one was coming. I really want to keep Savic, but Barcelona is actually a club we kind of have to negotiate with. Such a big deal, but again with Lamar, I think that's not enough money. Really do not want to lose Savic, but we will negotiate this one with Barcelona, purely because it's Barcelona, and 9 times out of 10, if they want you at the back end of your career for Stefan as well, it's an opportunity for trophies. I mean, it's hard for him to say no to this, and it's hard for me to deny him. Let's see if we can get a nicer transfer offer, though. I'd maybe take 35 million. 31-year-old Savic. They'd go 33.3. I mean, I really don't want to lose a player of this quality this early, but again, I don't feel like we could turn down this Barcelona opportunity for him. I'm going to say 34.3. They're going to say that. So let's see what happens. That's a massive development now on deadline day. And it does mean we might have to dip back into the market again for another centre-back, boys. And it could mean that we go for Inacio. Now, I was looking at Klosterman very closely, but he signed for Leeds. And I would be A-okay if they did this deal in real life. And Laporte, I actually think would be great. But is it realistic for now? This is the one I'm struggling with, because it is kind of realistic. Not like he's played tons of football for Man City, and they have a lot of good centre-back. He would cost an extortionate fee, but would he be the correct player to bring in for a Savic? It's a very difficult question on whether we go for youth here or replace one of our starting centre-backs with another top level centre-back. Let's wait and see if the deal is done first. Let's wait and see if it gets completed. It didn't actually take too long. The deal has gone through. Savic will leave. I mean, he'll go to Barcelona. I think for this point in his career, this move is really good for him. I'm a little bit sad to see him go, though. I did not plan on this being a deal that happened, but I think when Barcelona come knocking, you can't really turn it down. It's given us an A as well, our first A of the transfer window. We have 3 hours left to get a deal done. I am going to go in for Laporte. I'm a fan. I think he suits us, and we need a starting centre-back now that Savic has gone. He was the best centre-back at the club in terms of overall. Again, with Laporte's injury issues, with his problems in the past, this would be maybe a little bit of a resurrection career-wise to come back to Spain. Is Pep Guardiola going to drive a very hard bargain here? Because if they'd let me have him for 55.5, I'd love that. I'm not expecting this to be a yes. Okay, they want Lamar. I don't want to let Lamar go right now, so we're going to go with a new fee, and I'm just going to go 65. We're going to jump up by 10 million, which is steep, but considering they wanted Lamar, this makes sense. And Atletico have paid some crazy fees before in the past for players. I don't think 65 million for a star defender is paying too much. I mean, he's on a huge wage. He's going to be crucial. There's no doubt about that. I'd want him for 4 years at least. And that release clause, I'm actually happy with. See, so sometimes you do get release clauses that make sense. And this one makes sense, but the release clause is generated purely, I believe, on players overall. Now, here's the wage problem. Now, I believe he would want maybe a little bit of a pay rise, and I'm going to give him a mil signing on again. This does still leave us for money in January, and of course, we're going to bring in money. We are going to bring in a lot of money in January because some players need to leave. Here we go. Aymeric Laporte joins Atletico Madrid on deadline day with just hours to go. I imagine they'd be having a field day with this on Sky Sports News. I feel like we should get an A for this, if I'm being honest. I just feel like it should be an A, but what are they actually going to... We'll take a B. I'll take a B. So Laporte will slot in straight away as a starting centre-back, but the big thing for me is having two backup centre-backs that are decent in Antonio Silva and Hermoso, because once the Champions League starts, the games are going to come thick and fast. That's going to be it for us on deadline day, I believe. I firmly believe that will be it for us. If a major bid comes in now, the deal will not get closed in time because at the 3-hour mark, there's not really much room to maneuver. Next up in the league, though, is this huge game against Barcelona. Savic's going to start for them as well. I'm going to go Morata, Depay, Griezmann. I really like that in the last game. In fact, I think I'm going to keep the team exactly the same with Laporte getting a start. But I'm going to give Yorkiemann the left-back position in this one. Gonzalo Ramos will come on the bench. Only 2 days after this Barcelona game as well, we do take on Porto in the Champions League. So it is starting to get into the business end of the season here, where the games start to come. We've got the transfer period over and just a few games every other week. Now they're going to come thick and fast, and that means rotation. We're going to get to see a lot more of what this squad can do. I'm super excited, though, to see Laporte. And we are at home, so this is major for us. Being at home in this one, we need to hope we could do our best. 2 wins and a draw, of course, this season so far, so we're hoping to continue that. There we are. Laporte is number 3. I don't actually know who we should give the captain's armband. It is Jimenez right now, but let me know who you think we should give the armband to. Barcelona, of course, in real life, although they do have this unreal debt, don't seem to be having any problems with spending a ton of cash. So who knows how they'll perform in the league this year on the game. I'm expecting them to be right up there, one of the top 2 sides. But can we be one of them as well? We've shaken a little bit up here. There's still a lot of changes to be made at Atletico. But this Barcelona side is... I mean, he's pretty decent. And there he is, Stefan Savic there, starting for them at centre-back. Koundé at right-back. Kessie de Jong and Pedri in the mid. That's a strong midfield, if you ask me. And then going forward, of course, Ferran Torres, Berardi, who they signed, Lewandowski up top. Well, let's get a look at Aymeric Laporte, and let's see how he gets on defending against Barcelona in his first game for the club. He's no stranger, though, to these big kind of matches, so that doesn't worry me at all. Let's honestly, I want to see how well Llorente does here, as that's a poor pass from Laporte. At right back against a side like Barcelona, he looks pretty decent there at the minute. Laporte is going to have to deal with Lewandowski today. Pedri's shot blocked by Jimenez perfectly. One thing about Laporte, he's actually a good passer of the football. Llorente's overrun himself there. Pedri now. Lewandowski. This is just great play already here for Barcelona. Lewandowski, good ball in. Well saved by Oblak. They're going to cause me problems early. You can feel it, can't you? There is just something about this Barcelona side, the way they move the ball, that is so scintillating. Koundé, Pedri, he's seen a lot of the football here early doors. Kessie, can we get on it? We're not seeing much of the ball ourselves. That's a great ball in. Lewandowski hits the woodwork. And Llorente has stolen it away from Lewandowski now, and he can break, and we need to break. And Llorente is going to keep his run going. He has kept his run going. Alvaro Morata would have been the man I would have wanted. I'm going to try and pull it back. We'll take a corner. It just gets us out of our own box. We're already starting to see what life might be like here. I'm going to get that to Depay. And then Depay. It's not bad ball in. We just couldn't get it over everyone. Llorente now wants Depay to make a little bit of a run. Depay there. Trying to find his man. And he will. It's Morata. That's lovely. He finds Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay now against his own club. Depay will make it 1-0 Atletico Madrid. And I believe he'd celebrate. I'm being honest with you. I do believe Depay would celebrate. Normally against somebody else's old club, we wouldn't celebrate. But I think he would against Barcelona. I don't believe he's had the greatest of times there. It's been very traumatic for him. And this is a brilliant goal. We haven't had much in this match, but we take the lead. It is Memphis Depay's first goal since joining the club. Lewandowski is dropping extremely deep to pick up the football, which I don't know. I don't feel like it's working for them at the minute. Berardi now. Great footwork. Going to find Pedri. Oh, straight across. Ferran Torres' shot is saved. Can we get there? We can. De Jong now. See what he can do. Oh, that wasn't very good, but they're going to get away with it just because they've got so many bodies, and luckily in the end we clear it. Not a bad start for Laporte's first game either. He's playing well. I mean, we're defending pretty well at the moment. They did hit the woodwork, though, in that first half. Berardi literally just sprinted on that so well. Get that clear, Laporte. Oh, that's great defending. Right there, finds DePaul. Paul into Depay. Depay then finds Alvaro Morata, and this is how we're going to have to win this game. Moments like this, Morata, what a finish. He's had a blinding start to the season. It is 2-0 Atletico Madrid against Barcelona. And for all the possession, for all the domination they've had, it's been 2 clinical breakaways that have meant a 2-goal cushion for Atletico. I think that took a tiny deflection on its way into the back of the net. Christensen and Savic not defending very well in this one. And that has led to opportunities on the break. Berardi's look good, to be honest. They've just got a little bit unlucky in areas. Here come Barcelona. Oh, that's a lovely ball in behind. Berardi, will he be caught? Berardi, he won't be. Oh, it's a terrible shot. Time to get our first look at Gonzalo Ramos. He's going to come on for Alvaro Morata, who's the most tired. We're going to bring on Koke as well and Doherty. Berardi then, playing that back to Pedri. Berardi's probably been their best player, I'm going to be honest with you. He's linked up so well. Pedri, oh, that's great footwork. What a save, Oblak. No, you got to get to it. Rafinha hits the woodwork. Oh, he comes back to him, and it's another save from Oblak. Rafinha, the substitution that they made a minute ago, having an instant impact. I don't know how we survived this scoreline, to be honest with you. We are getting very lucky. We need to tap into our inner Diego Simeone. That's another great save from Oblak. We're starting to show why we might need to keep him, because he's starting to do some work in there. Kessie shot, De Jong shot off the line by Reguilon, and we will escape. Barcelona have been ultimately dominant. It's been 2 moments in this game where we've managed to break away that have led to anything for us. De Jong now plays that into Berardi. Berardi up against Koke. They've still got it, and we're just flooding the box at the minute with players. Now, this could be the moment. Memphis Depay over to an already injured Gonzalo Ramos. When did that happen? Ramos, though. Good footwork. Ramos with the shot straight at the keeper. When did he get injured? What is it with me and my luck? A new signing's getting injured. Like, what, just genuinely, what is it? Gonzalo Ramos is injured. We have no idea how he got injured, but I feel like we've weathered the storm for long. He's offside. He's offside. He's surely... Pedri's touch was shocking anyway, but he was offside. And he's been on for all of 2 minutes. He's coming off. So Molina comes on for him. I've had a bit of a rejig in the midfield, and that's the substitution that we're going to have to make. Very strange one for me, but we'll do it. Memphis Depay tries to loft that. Griezmann gets it. Griezmann! Oh, it's 3-0. I don't know how it's 3-0. Barcelona have been unbelievable, but Antoine Griezmann makes it 3-0, and we're storming away with a 3-0 victory against Barcelona. What a ball for Memphis Depay. My attack today has been brilliant and clinical. I'm just not quite sure how we're winning this game, considering they've hit the woodwork twice as well. Sometimes it's just not your day, and today is just not Barcelona's day. I don't know how they will feel about this one. They'll probably want revenge in the home leg, but we're going to walk away with a 3-0 victory. What an amazing game of football. And just to show, they had 54% possession. They had 13 shots and 94 passes complete. They absolutely dominated this match. They only had 4 shots in the entire game, and we walk away with a 3-0 victory. I'll bite your hand with that one. I really will. That's fantastic. But next time round, in the next episode, we will be starting our Champions League journey, taking on Porto. But that's going to be it from me for this episode, boys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you're new around here, please smash that subscribe button as we continue to grow. Nearly hitting 7k now, which is just, I mean, it's insane to me, but the support is unreal. Hit the like button as well. Helps us get seen by more and more people. There he is. I'm Aymeric Laporte. What do you think of our big signing here in this transfer window? It was kind of a forced one, not what we expected. We brought in a couple of youngsters as well. I'm very happy with the transfer window as things stand, and I'm happy with that first game against one of the bigger sides in Spain, taking on Barcelona. I've been Yorkie. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.